Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Exodus 13, bringing you a Redstone tutorial. Now, this is episode 1 of Redstone for Nubs, and what I'm going to be doing for you guys is, for those who aren't as proficient at Redstone as quite some people like Hypixel, Seth Lang, or even me, or Dragnaz is, if I think that's how you pronounce his name, he's a really good guy to go to if you want to learn about command blocks. That's definitely one of the places you want to go for that sort of stuff, but I'll be covering command blocks later in the year. Anyway, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. It's a little early, but still, I'm sporting my Santa Claus cloak. Ho ho ho. And I'm going to be bringing you, as a little bit of an early Christmas present, how to understand the basic physics of Redstone. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a memory block at first if you're not quite good at covering things. But I'll do my best to give you the short, simple, sweet, and in-depth version. So I found a little clear spot. I would recommend going into, if you're gonna do something with Redstone, I would recommend you create a world dedicated to experimentation. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of that. That's my own little contraption. I'll be showing you guys a little bit about that later. Probably when I get into more complex stuff. Alright. So let's break down Redstone 101. Let me set my inventory. Okay, I'm back and got my Redstone inventory set up. This is just, I usually put the redstone in first, torch second, and repeater third. Whatever comes after that is just the extras. Okay, so let's learn about the basic thing that you need to know about Redstone. It's got a limit on it. Thinking, it's got a limit? Let me show you what I mean. So here's a redstone torch. It's an infinite source of redstone power, as is a block of redstone, and it's continuous. It'll never stop, as you can see. And here's what I mean by redstone has a limit. As you can see, if you can see it clearly, as the farther I go, the darker the redstone becomes. Eventually, it goes black, and there's no more particles. Redstone has a 15 block limit before it needs to be recharged. So, now you're thinking, what the heck can you do with, well, only 15 blocks? And what do you mean recharging it? This is what I mean. Redstone repeaters are going to become your best friend in big circuits, because they reset the block limit back to 0. They also, however, consequently provide a 1-second delay. So for really big circuits, you're going to have a pain of a slight delay between each thing. However, you could use this to your advantage. You can set it from 1, 2, 3, or 4 ticks of delay. Now, it's about 10 ticks per second, if I'm not mistaken. I will have to re-look that up, yeah. So, the more ticks, the slower it's going to be. So, it's also going to last for a little bit longer. Okay. So now that I got myself set it out, sorted out, here's what I mean. This one over here is set to 1, over here is 4, and everything else is in between. And as you can see, more delay causes things to activate and deactivate slower. So that's the short version. So what causes redstone signal? Well, I've already explained torches and blocks. That will already cause redstone to be powered. However, let me just get a... Go. So we also have... Now you're thinking, sandstone? No. There's buttons. Buttons will provide a short dose of power. Doesn't last very long. Another thing that powers redstone, for continuous, if activated, is switches. They're very handy. However, all you gotta do, flick the switch, turns off. Simple enough. Another wonderful thing that Minecraft has is pressure plates. Now there's 2 kinds, actually there's 4 if you count the new ones. I'll get into these in a second. Now these plates, this is a player only plate. Stone plates are only activated by players and nothing else. As you can see, we got the pressure plate on the pressure plate and nothing's gonna come out. Now, here are wooden pressure plates. As you can see, they're activated by players, and they're also activated by items. I don't know why that deactivated. Throw my redstone repeater. There we go. So they're activated by items and things, and this could be helpful if, per se, you're using a mob grinder and you want to use a wooden pressure plate to show the indication of items. Now, there's two other pressure plates that are metal that were recently added in the Redstone update. We got weighted pressure plates. You got the light, and you got the heavy ones. May need a little something to throw on this. So I'm just put these in here and get some more. There we go. So, again. There we go. Now you can see. So we got gold and we got iron. I don't know why the gold one's light, but oh well. So, the more items you throw on there, as you can see, it's activated, but it's not a very strong signal. Just spam the button. It's got a little lighter. Let's see if we can just extend this out. Just throw that out. So it's 64. It's all stacked together, so it made it go back. But it looks. So now, as you can see, we're up to. It keeps changing, but we seem to be hitting 4 right now. And now it goes back to 2. Not sure why it's doing that, but as you can see, the more you add on there, the more it happens. And recently, I think due to the 1.6.4 update, now it can be activated by players, and the more players that are on these plates, the farther the signal goes. Now, as you can imagine, since the iron plates are labeled as heavy plates, it's going to take a little bit more to get them going. Yeah. So this one, whereas you get powered between 2 and 4, 128 stone blocks on it, this only gets powered by 1. So that's the sources of redstone. Okay, now to move on to redstone behavior. This part gets a little not very fun. So let me throw out some stuff here and just bring my regular sandstone. Well, I might want to get a switcher button into this as well. And we'll get into comparators later. So, now, there's many ways you could do it. Let's start with simple, how do redstone torches behave? As you can see, you can put them on the side of a block if you use a lever or any power source really. For example, bring this into here, put this torch here. That shuts off that torch. Now if you put redstone facing a block, it's going to power it. If a torch is on a powered block, it's got to turn off. Now, torch will power anything that is within a 90 degree of it. However, not power anything that's 45 to it. As you can see. Now, what else will these wonderful things do? They'll power blocks above it. And if that block is powered above it, that redstone is going to get activated. And even, however, it won't power anything side to it, I don't think. Let's cut that signal off. Yep, it won't power anything side to it. So just, however, if there's a block above it, it'll power this redstone since it's right next to a powered block. So that's simple redstone behavior. Now you're thinking, what happens if you stack a bunch of torches on top of each other? Well, you're thinking ahead. As you can see, this will power this. This is on, this becomes off. And if you put this, another one on here, this will be on. Now, I like to call these power towers for a very simple reason. Power, and it's a tower. And as you can see, if you use a switch to deactivate and activate this one, it causes a chain reaction, which can help you take redstone vertical. Moving forward. Let's move on to repeaters. I love these things, but I also hate them. But I love them more than I hate them. These can be wonderful to bypass sets of redstone without causing cross connections. So as you can see, all of these repeaters are powered separately from these lines. Whereas if you try to do this with just regular old redstone, well, that ain't happening. So, back to this. That's the wonderful thing about repeaters, number one. Number two is they can be used to create little hidden things. Ta-da! It will power a block, and repeaters will go to a distance that actually torches can't when powering things. You see, a torch can't power, if it's on a block, it will not power anything below it. That's just not going to happen. However, if you're using a redstone repeater, it will. It will power anything around said block that is attached, that is facing towards. Now, another thing, these are diodes. If those who don't know what a diode is, per se, they're not exactly into the electronic community, it's a one-way movement. It means it can only be powered one way, and it can only power out another way. So this torch right here, this one that's not on this little sliding track, that is the output. The sliding track is the input. You can kind of see a faint triangle. That's where it's going to go. Now I got this powered on the sides, and in the front, it ain't happening. However, if you power it from behind, it'll put out a signal. This is a good way to prevent backtracking of signal. I'll show some applications in the future of this, but simply, it prevents things from going awry. And this can save you in the future if you're building a really complex redstone circuit. Let me say, I've built command block things, and if you don't have a repeater in that one spot, things can just break loose. Next thing you know, you'll lag really terrible and you can crash the server. I've done that once or twice. Whoops. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about the slight interruption. My buddy messaged me on Skype. We run a server together. I'll be sure to leave that in a link. It's Umbercraft. I'll leave the website and everything. It'll be in all of my videos. I forgot to put in the description of my first one, but anyway, proceeding on. Redstone repeaters, and I was just basically going over this. Now, these have a number of useful applications. As I've already explained, they could prevent that crossing of lines. They act as a diode. Another thing they do, as I've already explained, is cause delay. Now, if you're building TNT cannons, this could really be helpful with your timing. As you can see. So that could be the difference from your entire TNT cannon blowing up and something actually shooting. For example, when you first light the circuit, it'll light all the TNT in the track. That would be here. And then you got the water source right here. This lights the TNT that's sitting up here. This explodes before this one. That causes that to launch and explode. As a matter of fact, everybody loves explosions, so let's do a brief demonstration. Alright, back with the TNT cannon. Now, as you can see, another thing Redstone will do is it'll power really any block that's adjacent to it. It's going to make this air powered, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it won't power this TNT because it's 45. Redstone rules, 45 never gets powered. Only powers 90s. Unless if they change it in the future. So if you're watching this video, and this is made back in 1.7.4. So, what this will do, and when I hit the switch, it's going to hit this, activate this instantaneously, which is going to power all 4 of these TNT in a second. Now, this is going to go through some slight delay. This is going to block and be powered, and it's going to turn on this TNT. This will explode before this, sending that God who knows where. Demonstration. It's been powered. Now that's been powered. That explodes. And there you go. A simple TNT cannon. Compact and not really resource demanding. This is my favorite model, by the way. I love this. Just power that off. And now you're ready to reload. I built a self-firing version using command blocks. I'll be doing that later. And it's becoming night on Minecraft. There we go. Now we can see again. another thing, and just to show a brief demonstration of how repeaters can power blocks, it's easy to do with redstone lamps, actually. I look stupid now. So set up this little demonstration for you guys. Now, as you can see, torch will only power something across from it. It won't power the other blocks around it. It will power anything above it. Whoops. Okay, so here's a slight application how I could show you that these things prevent things from going awry. Because that's going to back power this, and that's going to turn on this. So let's show you what it looks like with regular redstone. Just place this block here. See, it'll back power that and turn that on, when I had no intention on turning on the circuit. However, if you put this repeater like this, do the same thing now, doesn't happen. So wonderful application and use of that. Okay, so here's the best way I know how to power up redstone. Power up redstone. Get it? Pun. So, you got this off and you got this off, but we're using a little power tower here. Turn the switch on, this turns off, this turns on since it's not powered, therefore it powers this redstone up here. That's the easiest way of doing it. Now, for taking redstone downwards, this gets a little bit trickier, but after a while, I kind of figured out a simple little way to do it. And it's compact, it's in a 2x2. You could do 1x1 versions of this with like redstone, like pistons, but that causes delay, a lot of it. So the shortest way I've ever seen is this method. And it uses the wonderful redstone torch. Now, this is another reason why I love redstone torches. So here's your output, down here, and here's your input, up here. Now if you hit the switch, as you can see, the signal goes downwards, this turns off, so does this powers, so that turns off, and this turns off, and this powers. That's a tongue twister. So you can make this as long as you want, and it'll have the same effect. Now the longer you do make it, since it uses torches, there's going to be a slight delay, so the more torches, the longer it's going to take, but it will do it relatively quickly. So pretty. So thank you for watching Redstone for Nubs, episode 1, learning how redstone behaves. Woohoo! I'm sorry. Please leave a like button if you think it was a good, helps this video get seen, and that would be great, and plus they're tasty with milk. With Christmas time coming around too. Maybe I can leave a few for Santa Claus. Woo! Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I definitely need the help, and jeez, who knows what could happen? Maybe I'll be doing contests for the people who subscribe to me. And let's see, what else? Yeah, be sure to stick around for episode 2 of Redstone for Nubs. See you later, YouTube. As you can see, it took slower. I'll provide a little bit of a demonstration here. This is why I keep lamps, I think. Actually, that's gonna be stupid, because I'll show you later why that's a bad idea. I'm such an idiot today. I'm just gonna skip through that. Okay. I'm just not quite myself today. Just gonna build this up one. Put this here, put this here, put this here. Put this here, and let's set up another one with just regular redstone. Okay. Now, redstone will only power the block it's connected to, and nothing around it. Repeaters will power the block it's connected to, and everything around it, by perpendicular, of course. And I'll demonstrate that 45s, once again, 45 roll, it's not going to be powered. And voila. Oh, which is my surprise. So they changed that. Interesting. Oh, wait, it is. Yeah. I can't believe I just did that. Okay. So put this here. And let's do the second version. So here's V1 and V2, or whatever you want to call them. This version, I'm an idiot. So that's it for Redstone for beginners or nubs. Oh crap. If there's anything else that you want me to do, like resource packs, texture pack, did I just say resource packs, texture packs? Blooper.